The truth about a regular 9 to 5 job. Now listen, off rip, there's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5 at all, right? But I will say that there is something inherently wrong about the system. So, with that being said, let's react to this video by Joe Rogan, and it's labeled "The Truth About Regular 9 to 5 Jobs." And who is this actor? Who is this guy? He looks so familiar. I forgot what his name is. Is this Nicolas Cage? No, it's not Nicolas Cage.
I think you said people are conditioned to think. I think people are conditioned not to think anymore. They're conditioned to do exactly what they're told.
Yeah.
By their news station, by their politician. You know, people don't want to think for themselves anymore.
Well, they're
okay, and I will say that off rip. Sorry, I'm gonna keep pausing this. It's a 3-minute video and stuff like that. I will say that off rip, this is already very huge, very heavy information right here. People are conditioned not to think anymore. And this has always been a thing. School, in my opinion, conditions you to be a worker, right? And if you want to think outside the box, think beyond like a 9 to 5, think beyond like into entrepreneurship, you have to be able to think. And school will not help you with that. School will teach you to get a job, which is fine, like I said at the beginning of this video.
Think anymore. They're conditioned to do exactly what they're told.
Yeah.
By their news station, by their politician. You know, people don't want to think for themselves anymore.
Well, they're conditioned at work. Think about if you have a job. The majority of people in this country have a job where you have a boss. The bosses are a very small minority. The majority of people work for that boss. If you work for a corporation, they have very strict rules that they'd like you to follow. There's behavior rules, there's language rules, there's dress rules, there's, you know, rules about the time you're supposed to be there and the amount of work you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to take home and what's required of you. People are conditioned to have someone tell them what they can and can't do. And
this is obviously how you do it in school. Teachers are a small minority, students are the mass majority. It's the same exact thing. You go from, all right, teacher tells you what to do, you do it. Teacher, you know what I'm saying, teaches you what to do, you do it. You go to a job, trainer tells you what to do, you do it. Employer tells you what to do, you do it. Your boss tells you what to do, you do it. You know what I'm saying? It's the same exact thing.
Conditioned to have someone tell them what they can and can't do. And then they get off on Friday and they can't wait to get drunk. And that's part of why they want to get drunk, is they want to escape. They want to escape this grind of a world. A person who can become autonomous, a person who can have their own job where it's their business or it's their product that they're selling or their art that they're selling, or there's something where you can be self-sufficient. That is the biggest freedom that a person can have in this culture. And most people don't have that freedom. So
factual. And it's because the reason why is because you have to literally uncondition yourself. That's why you have to literally go against what you already learned. Like in school, they have art class, but they tell you what to draw. In school, they have gym class and they have like sporting things and stuff like that. And yes, you have to follow a program, but you know, sports is completely different from a 9 to 5. Sports is actually might be a 9 to 5, might even be worse actually, but you just get paid a lot more. That's a whole different discussion though. But school doesn't teach you how to create your own business, you know what I'm saying, taxes, doesn't teach you to build credit, none of that. It doesn't teach you financial literacy, at least in the schools that I've went to. In the schools that most people I know have gone to, and actually all the people that I know have gone to. You have to go out and teach this type of stuff yourself. You have to learn this type of stuff yourself. Like they teach you things like, you know, history, math, and things like that. And like while those things could be important, you know what I'm saying, financial literacy is literally probably the most important thing you could learn. And also, but at the same time, if everybody's a boss, then nobody's a worker, right? You need workers in this world, but you know what I'm saying. So I guess I understand that, you know what I'm saying, you want to make it harder for the bosses to become bosses. So I understand that from like a worldview point, but at the same time, you have to realize that the system is meant for you to die a worker, to die on the clock. They only use you. They use you up until they don't need you anymore. I was watching a video literally the other day where it was a bunch of firefighters who were prisoners working for literally $10 a day, $1 an hour, some bullshit, risking their lives. They're heroes when they want you to be. When they need you, they need you. When they don't need you, you are done. You're going right back in your cell, just like them prisoners. It's facts, bro. It's facts, bro. Literally, if you die on the clock, if you have a 9 to 5, you die on the clock. Damn. RIP. Put your picture up for a year or two, and you get replaced within days. Which is like, it's business as usual, right? You're supposed to do it that way. But it's like, that's just how expendable you are. You wanna for me, I wanna like raise my value and be someone valuable, be someone you can't replace. So yeah, that's just me though.
Most people are conditioned to have someone lay the rules out for them, tell them when they're supposed to be there, tell them what they get when they work for an hour. That most people don't have the ability to just think for themselves. It's been taken away from them because they want to make a living.
Yeah, then you get into student loans.
Oh
That's
my
the
God.
craziest one, right? Because you can't even get rid of those.
Right? Every other right
Every other loan. Yeah, you can go bankrupt.
you can bankrupt.
Yeah.
Except for
Student loans. I know of people that are getting Social Security docked. Their Social Security money is being docked because they owe student loans. So you're at the finish line. It's the end of your life. And you owe money for loans you took out when you were 18.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're 65. That's a rough way to leave this life. It's a rough, and the amount of interest based on it. I was reading about this woman who took out $150,000 in student loans, and now she owes $250,000 because of all the interest and all the time.
yeah, and how much over the course of that loan? What are you paying? Like
Right.
7 figures for sure, right?
Fucking
Off of that.
crazy. I mean, it's a fucking business. And it's also, for many people, something that they're not going to use for whatever occupation they choose. I mean, maybe it will help them get a job if it shows that they have a bachelor's in this or a master's in that. But there's a large amount of people out there that are out there working in a field that is not even their field of study in college. So they have this student loan that didn't even apply to what they wound up doing for a living.
Right.
And then they have to pay it off forever. And it's subsidized by the government. So it's
Like, my mother went to great schools, and as far as I know, she do not use her degree. Same shit with a lot of people that I know. They actually end up going to more school, and then they get to do what they want to do. But they could have just gone to their little mini school, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like a lot of jobs, they teach you on the job. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I also feel like college, for the most part, is a scam. But that is a whole nother video. Let's just finish this one.
It's an extraordinarily expensive endeavor. And you're making this choice when you're 18 and you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
No.
You have zero idea. It's the most vulnerable time in your life before your frontal lobe forms. You're not even 25 years old, and you're making these life decisions that will affect you forever.
But it's not pushed. It's shame. You're shamed almost
Yeah.
if you don't go to college, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's never
Facts.
pushed like, hey, go learn a technical skill.
Right.
Where you can do a year of apprenticeship or college or study,
Yeah.
and then go make 6 figures in a job.
Well, I wouldn't say that, because like, when I was in school, there was this program where they would, teach you trades, like, welding, electrician, HVAC, things like that, and that's a great alternative. So, and schools have been pushing that recently. I will say that.
One of the biggest times in my life where I felt like a loser was right out of high school, because I took a year off. And I remember just telling people that I was going to take a year off. And they're like,
How could you?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is, bro. You get shunned for thinking outside the box, for being outside the box. So that's just how it is, bro. That's life, man. Appreciate y'all for watching. I'm out of here.